Hello everyone, in this episode of ExcaliburCCGTV, we're taking a look at the top comics for August 14th, 2013. Stay with us. Thanks for pressing play. He's Randy. I'm Chris. We are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana. We're talking comics. Welcome to our weekly recommendation / commentary / short review show.
Don't be a loser and miss out.
Don't miss out, exactly. But hey, before we get started with the show, a couple things that we want to do a shout out about. Randy is now doing weekly comic book review show. Tell them a little about it, Randy.
We're taking a look at the stuff that just came out, telling you what we feel is our best week. Myself and a couple of the other guys here. You usually will see Nathan and Blake with me. We also take a look and tell you, we pick apart a book. Say, did we like it? Did we not like it? Will you like it? Kind of thing. So a little bit of fun there for you. A little bit of a podcast kind of thing that we're doing with it. So trying something new.
So add that to your ExcaliburCCGTV watch list. Also, Labor Day weekend in Texarkana, Texas, we have the Arklatex Comic-Con hitting. This is going to be August 31st through September 1st. It's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn there in Texarkana, Texas, and you can find out more information at the website arklatexcomiccon.com. I'll put a link down below in the description below. There's going to be door prizes, there's gaming tournaments, there's going to be a costume contest, art contest, and special guests, including I know at least one TV actor is going to be there, and there's going to be other guests there as well.
There's a possible guest. I don't know if they've said anything more. They were in talks with the man. I don't know if that was going to come to fruition, but
the man.
Wow. Also, that is where you will see the screening for Excalibur's documentary.
Yes. It's supposed to be everywhere. So
yeah, don't want to miss out on that one either.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. And with that stuff out of the way, we have an awesome week of comics to look forward to.
Possibly one of the best weeks I've seen in quite some time, with just like the caliber of comics that are coming out here.
Easily.
And I feel like we should probably start off with the big one that for quite some time we've been pushing. It's here. Infinity #1 comes out this week. Yes. With this, you're going to see the battle between Earth and space, and you're going to see the return of Thanos into present day Marvel Universe, and he's got a big bad plan that he's going to bring about here. So should be a great read. We had a little bit of a hint as to Thanos and what he has in mind in Guardians of the Galaxy. So number 5 there. So not only was that a big Angela appearance in that, you also had Thanos making a little appearance. So scrounge around, see if you can find that. Probably most likely going to have to get a second print at this point in time, but that's going to be something where you'll hear little whispers about it coming in. But this is what Marvel's been building up to for about the last year, maybe. Well, half a year. I'll give it half a year. So
easily, it is upon us. One special note here, guys. I've had some issues with my video editing software, so there may or may not be pictures in this episode. But as soon as I can fix that, I will, and I'll show you images. But
as long as you can see these two lovely faces, that's all
right.
That matters.
It's Playboy right here. Woo! Playboy extraordinaire. Anyway, guys, hey, we see the return this week after a couple of month hiatus. Saga number 13 hits the shelves. We are back in the fray, back in the thick of things.
Yes.
With our beloved characters and with the curmudgeonly allegory of Warren Ellis.
Yes. Okay, that's a great way of putting that.
Yes. with them finding that one-eyed character. That's probably like Brian Vaughn's humorous take on Warren Ellis. So anyway, we're back. Saga is back. If you've not been reading this series, the first 2 trades are available. You need to pick them up. You need to get on board this series because it's fantastic. We've hyped it. We've talked about it a bunch. We'll probably continue talking about it a bunch. We may review it. It's just an awesome, fantastic series.
That's right. It's going to pick up just to get the little catch up for you guys. When last we left our characters, they were there with the author, but so was the Robot Prince.
Exactly.
So it left off on this great cliffhanger. We're picking up, and we're going full steam with that one.
Yes.
Probably just as exciting with that coming out. We also have East of West number 5 coming out. East of West number 5. That we just had a huge revelation at the end of number 4.
Yes.
A massive revelation. What we're going to look at with this one is we're supposed to find out what the contents are, the apocrypha that they have there, and it predicts the end of the world. What exactly does it predict? What's going on? But that's supposed to be the focus of this issue here. I mean, we're going to get some other creamy goodness here with the with Death and what's going on with him and his wife and everything else. But that's supposed to be one of the big revelations here.
Right. The message.
Right.
The message, which they've hinted at ever since issue number 1.
Yes.
And we see this, the people in this series, we see that some of the top people, some of the top like government officials and stuff,
right,
are kind of a part of this small cult that is really pushing this.
Maybe an Illuminati?
Yes, kind of like an Illuminati type setting with these people, and now, you know, they're the ones with the power and the one pushing the message. The message. So yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, these 2 books here, Saga and East of West, are just an example as to why we push Image and say they are so strong. Also, along those same lines, The Walking Dead number 113 comes out. It's another example of why they are so strong. We have Rick versus Negan here.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
How does Rick get out of this? I don't know.
Man, the way that last issue ended, he is screwed.
Yeah.
He just
SOL. We'll say that. There is no way for him to get out of this, and it's this kind of intense writing that makes people want to keep on picking up this book. Now, some people have been a little disappointed that it's not been so much so about the zombies in it, but Kirkman's always said that's not necessarily what this book is about.
Yeah.
It's about these people having to survive or having to, figure out what comes next for civilization after this zombie apocalypse. So the zombies are a central character that, every now and then they have to tell you to still be aware of it, but it's more so that, society doesn't have the same rules anymore.
Exactly.
And Negan realizes that and says, we have to make our own. And Rick, still kind of in some way wants to live by those same rules. So,
right.
I mean, he's extreme at times, but he still basically lives within the parameters of what civilization lived within previously.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
3 great examples of why Image Comics is hot.
This next one, talk
to me.
I've got to know how it ends, and I'm talking about Thor, God of Thunder. This is issue number 11, the grand finale of the God Bomb saga. Yes. We're going to see exactly what happens. Gore the God Butcher has made the gods slaves, made them create or participate in creating the very thing that's going to destroy them in his mind. And at the end of the last issue, we saw that detonate, and now we're going to find out what exactly happens with the Thors, with the granddaughters of Thor,
right.
with Gore the God Butcher,
with the other gods too,
with all the other gods as well that have been captured, and it's been phenomenal. Jason Aaron and Assad Ribic have just created a awesome epic story.
Yeah.
That has just been, it's like the top of the stack. Every month it comes out, with the week it comes out, it's the top of the stack. I got to find out what's going on and what's happening. Was
there not a spookier utterance than the "You are my God"?
Yes.
And the repercussions of
yes,
that.
Exactly.
I mean, Jason Aaron you knew that was coming, and he nailed it, and it was just chilling.
Yes.
So great recommendation right there. Also along those same lines of like, just a writer within his realm, knowing exactly how to write the perfect story. We have Astro City #3 coming out, and let me tell you, this is a book of passion for Kurt Busiek. Here, he only puts it out when he feels like he has a good story to tell. And it looks like with this series that he's put out, it's focusing more along the lines of the regular human beings and how they view the world in which these superheroes are living in. And this issue, the first issue seemed like a standalone. This issue ties in directly to issue 2, where this girl was working kind of like a 911 group for the superheroes, you know, sending the response teams that needed to go, or sending the big heroes, and she made a huge error, and now one of the South American countries is suffering for it.
Okay.
And so she feels extremely guilty because she thought, no, I don't want to trouble the heroes with this call that just sounds like a little girl saying, "Daddy's mad at mommy," and it turned into something much bigger. And so, but this series, there's so much heart in it. With just, he captures how I think an average normal person would react if there were superheroes here. It almost reminds me kind of well, he wrote one of the books for the Marvels. There, that it kind of reminds
Marvels,
me of Marvels and Marvel's Eye of the Camera.
Mm-hmm.
So in that same respect, that's what you're getting with this series here. So a very strong start to the series, and I can only imagine this one will be just as good.
Awesome recommendation. Another one for me that I'm really looking forward to is Ghosted #2 from Image Comics. Ghosted #1 hit the shelves just a few weeks ago, about a con man, a professional thief, expert thief that had some mess ups on his last job, got put in prison, got broken out by a very extreme and eccentric collector.
Yeah.
And now the collector has assigned him with the task of going to a haunted house and stealing a ghost there. And the way that the first issue ended, it was just like that. That psychic looks around and goes, "No, not seeing anything right now." But if you picked up the issue, you know that was not the situation. So it was crazy cool. I loved the character. I loved the artwork as well as the writing. They fit hand in hand, and the way, just the whole pacing. The whole pacing of that first issue was just like, okay, when you got to the end, you're like, where is the second issue? I need it now.
For me, it's one of those things that I want a story that seems interesting.
Yep.
And that this has it. I want a good pacing, like you said. This has it. And if they have at the end just like that hook that absolutely captures you and you go, whoa, hold on, I have to know what comes next, then this book definitely has it. I like that it seems like you could predict what's going to happen in this, but it could go off in a totally different direction. It seems kind of familiar, but there's this total lack of an unknown to the book as well.
Right.
So I like that they have that. This is a great recommendation. Right there.
And so with this issue #2, which the main character kind of set up in issue 1, the #1 rule was to do everything during daytime, during daylight, get out at night.
Get out before sundown.
Well, we're going to see in the second issue if they can follow that rule or not. So it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it. It's like there's so many great books. I don't know what's going to be at the top of the stack, man. It's just crazy.
It is, and along those same lines, guys, 0 Year is continuing in Batman #23.
Exactly.
It's been exciting so far, and this one is going to be one of those monumental issues because this is where we see Bruce Wayne donning the cape and cowl there of Batman. So this is kind of the historic moment for the DC New 52. So that is one of those that now we have that, and it can only continue on with seeing just how much he has to grow with his crime fighting.
Right.
I think almost even more exciting to me with this book is the backup story.
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
With
Yeah.
him, he's having to. It's almost like straight out of Batman Begins. He's having to fight this Russian in like this death match, and
Right.
and it just like it seems so intriguing to me with that, and I like that they pull in something that is somewhat slightly familiar to people who may have gotten into Batman because they watched something like Batman Begins and that trilogy there. So that if you know, it's one thing we get to see him put on that, but we're also getting to see the backstory
Right.
with it, and
And it's been great because I don't know if Scott Snyder has been writing each of those backup stories, but Raphael Albuquerque has been
Yes.
doing the art, and that's a fantastic artist. And we like in one of the previous issues, we saw Bruce Wayne team up with in Paris with one of the best car thieves in the world, and getting lessons from him, and him being taught how to steal cars if necessary.
yeah, in order to fight crime, you're going to kind of have to team up with the criminals
Exactly.
to learn the trade of it there. So.
How they would do it and use it against them. So
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, help me out with this next
Sure.
one. Probably should have mentioned this one earlier. There
yeah.
are 2 additional number 1s hitting this week. The first one I believe is from IDW, which is Thunder Agents, the
Yes.
return of Thunder Agents, and this was a classic series. that-
Wallywood classic series, yeah.
Now that's returning, written by Phil Hester with art by Andre DeVito. Phil Hester's done The Coffin. He's done stuff for Top Cow. He's done.
He was the artist on Kevin Smith's Green Arrow.
He was the artist on Kevin Smith's Green Arrow, and then we got Andre DeVito, who did stuff for CrossGen when they were
right, Brath, or Brath, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and,
he's done some more recent stuff too. I think for some DC fill-ins and stuff.
Well,
but now
he was, I believe, a Daredevil artist, or he did some Marvel run there that was
I can't think of it now, but he's been around for a while. And these
Thunderbolts, Daredevil, something.
they're back.
Yeah.
They're together doing this new Thunder Agents series that's hitting the shelves from IDW number 1. So if you're a fan, if you're a fan of that older type of team and those particular characters that are coming back from IDW, they'll be on the shelves.
What's cool with this series is each character kind of has their own power, but they get their power from these belts, these contraptions,
Right.
and whenever they use them, they slowly kill. It's taking away from their lifespan.
Right.
And it's kind of similar to Marvel's Strike Force Morituri, but of course Strike Force Morituri probably came from
Thunder
that
Agents.
because Thunder Agents is back from it's really from I think the late 60s is when
Right.
they first started coming out here.
Right.
But yeah, you have 2 people who know how to handle and craft a really good comic putting this together, and I'm excited. They also, I think, have subscription variants that covers. They're going to be Walter Simonson doing the variants. So that's
Nice.
he's another classic artist that's going to just fit right in with kind of giving it that kind of classic feel to it.
Cool. Another one based off the very huge and successfully popular video game Halo. We got Halo Initiation number 1 hitting the shelves. This follows a character, Sarah Palmer, how she was a part of the ODST, which is the Orbital Drop Shock Troop, and how they used to do missions that no one else would do there behind enemy lines and stuff. So that's hitting the shelves as well. We're gonna have a few copies of those. We'll have Thunder Agents as well hitting the shelves here. So those may be 2 number 1s that you may want to check out. Add to your pull list.
Yeah, definitely. I've got kind of a twofer here. Twofer from Marvel Comics. Superior Spider-Man Team Up number 2 comes out, and this is going to see the return of Kane,
Yes.
Peter Parker's clone, who is the Scarlet Spider, coming back to New York, teaming up with, well, it's not Peter Parker, but it is. He's teaming up with Doc Ock and to fight the Jackal.
Right.
And this also, it's a twofer because it continues in Scarlet Spider number 20. So a lot of people probably don't
Okay.
realize that. And there are going to be people that pick up Scarlet Spider who don't pick up the other, and they're going to go, well, this is kind of weird that this just seems to be picking up in the middle of the story. And there are going to be people who maybe don't pick up Scarlet Spider that pick up Superior Team Up.
Right.
And then when they go to pick up number 3, they're going to go, wait, what happened to the rest of this story?
Right.
So they're going to need to pick up both of those to see what's going on here. You know, the thing that will be interesting here is that Kane has always had this edge to him. He's been a little more ruthless, and Peter's always tried to keep him in check with that. Well, now when he returns, Doc Ock Spider-Man has really been more along the same lines. So it'll be interesting to see if he's just like, hey, bud, you got with the program? Or is it going to be him saying, wait, hold on, something's not right here. Spider senses are tingling, something's off. You know, will this be the person that catches Doc Ock in the act, so to speak? We'll see.
But
But
to add to even more of that drama,
wait, there's more.
There is a history between the two already because Kane has killed Doc Ock in the past.
Yes.
So Kane doesn't know what's going on, but Doc Ock knows who Spock, as he's being called, Spock.
I have not heard that. But that's
Spider
awesome.
Rock knows what's going on. He's had to deal with Kane and what Kane did to him. So it's going to be interesting to see the tension that builds between the two and how it spills over into Scarlet Spider as well. The first issue of this it really took me by surprise. I enjoyed it because you've got in issue number 1, Superior Spider-Man just beating the mess out of the Avengers, man.
Yeah.
Even going up against Thor and stuff. And then you find out what's really going on. And it was a nice twist to that.
Right.
So I'm on board with issue number 2. I want to see how Kane and Superior Spider-Man are going to get along, if at all.
Let's take that name and make it our own. Instead of Spock, let's call him Spocky.
Spocky?
We had Spidey, Spocky.
Spocky?
Yeah,
We can do Spocky.
I like Spocky. Talk to me. What else is coming out here?
Also out this week, this is the first part of a major storyline that's going on with Wolverine. Wolverine issue number 8 hits the shelves this week. This is the first part of the Killable storyline. And we also see Alan Davis return to the artwork. Yes, thank you very much. He is back, but now Wolverine is his healing factor is not working, or if it is, it's barely working, and it's really taking a toll on his mind and how he's thinking about things. And we saw, like Nathan was talking about in that review, how in the previous issue we saw Wolverine, he doesn't take the time to shave. He just goes just hacking and slashing, and you know, if it cuts, it heals and stuff. But now he's realizing he can't do all that. He cannot do all that now, and he doesn't have the crutch to fall back on before. So now we see him go to he's on the trail of a possible cure with this new issue. He has to go to Wakanda to do that, and there's bad blood between him and the Black Panther, mainly due to Storm. But that's always been an interesting relationship dynamic for me between Wolverine and Storm. So we get to see him go to Wakanda, try to find this cure for what's ailing him, see if Black Panther is just wanting to kick his tail or if he's actually going to help him in the process. And yes, Alan Davis is back.
I'm surprised it's fallen this far, but like I said, everything is so good coming out this week. We have Justice League of America number 7 coming out here, and this is another one of the parts to the Trinity storyline, or Trinity War storyline. And with this one, we have they've broken off into there's Superman's team, Wonder Woman's team, and Batman's team, so to speak, all with kind of a collection of the 3 different Justice League groups. And we have Superman's team, who is tracking down his killer, or this murderer here, the one that he's being blamed for. So he's trying to track them down, and in the meantime they run into something to do with the secret society of supervillains.
Right.
And then we have Batman, who is doing his detective thing and finding out clues and pieces to everything else. And most importantly, we have the revelation that there is a traitor in the midst of the Justice League.
Okay.
So they just said Justice League. We don't know if it's the Justice League or if it's of America or if it's dark. So it could be any one of those. Maybe we need to start placing bets on, putting odds out there on who you think the traitor is. I'm pretty convinced it must be Superman. Or Batman.
Or Batman.
or Wonder Woman. No, I'd say those guys are all safe bets for being being true blue, and
exactly.
so it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. But you've got your next part of the pretty successful and exciting Trinity Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
So far, so.
And with even bigger stuff to follow after that.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that more. Next up, and like Randy said a moment ago, surprised this fell down the list, we got Avengers Arena number 13 hitting the shelves.
How is it that you're talking about this and not me?
I know, exactly. You're usually one that jumps right on it, anything, but that's all right, because in this particular issue, this is kind of an interlude issue. With the end of the last story arc and what was going on there, this issue is kind of a bridge between what's happened and what's going on forward, because this issue sees Hank Pym finally take a moment to stop and go, where are these kids?
What happened to my school?
Well, how come they're not here training? What's going on with that? But from what I understand, because I actually was able to read this issue. This issue is written by Christos Gage.
Right.
And we got Carl Moline on the art for this issue. But what I was able to actually read is that, however, Arcade was able to quiet them away to where they are now, he set it up to where it just looked like they were naturally leaving. Nothing unsuspecting.
Cool.
So now we got Tigra, Hank Pym, some of the other Avengers Academy teachers and such that are now kind of getting a little bit worried with this particular issue. And this is the bridge to the boss level story arc. After this issue, we're gonna be hitting the final run of this series.
You love that name, don't you?
That boss level is so cool. I never thought of that, but it makes total sense to me. So that's why it's always kind of exciting.
Well, you say the end of the run, end of first season.
End of the first season, because I think that with 14,
with how successful this has been, it's ridiculous that they would just stop.
Yeah, they're gonna, but it's supposed to stop like with 18 or 19, and that's gonna be the end of this season, and then they'll probably reboot it with season number 2 and number 1.
I'm fine with that as long as it continues to be this good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally on board. So Avengers Arena should be on your list. If it's not, what else can we do for them, Randy? I mean, what else?
I've got a tape dispenser. I'm going to take them out back and Half Past Danger number 4. Again, another one that's fallen here and talking. Half Past Danger. This is such a great story. It's basically like an Indiana Jones kind of story that we have going on here, and just like any great period piece kind of adventure story like that, this is the issue where we get the chase on the train.
Okay.
So you have to have that. It's a staple.
Chain race.
Yeah. And
chain race. Yeah.
Chain race.
Train chase. I got tongue tied as well.
So this one, Irish and his group have to stop the Nazis before the train gets to the boats and loads these dinosaurs on the boats, or else all is lost.
Right.
So man, this has been so much fun, and we got to see last issue the look at our big guy, that he is kind of like a Doc Savage.
Okay.
The basis, the same thing with Doc Savage is with him, but he also has a bit of a Captain America origin kind of thrown in there as well.
Cool.
So it's just been a fun book here. Kudos to Stephen Mooney for just creating a real gem.
Cool. Wrapping it up for me, Wolverine and the X-Men number 34 hitting the shelves. I loved what they did with the previous issue, and now we're continuing with the Hellfire Saga and issue number 34. Now we get to see Wolverine and the students take on Mystique and Sabretooth and the Hellfire King and whoever else is involved now. And I loved like I mentioned before, I loved the inventive use of the BAMFs that Wolverine used with the previous issue, and how he's finally got on the trail that he needs to get on to find everybody, to find where they are, because they've been hidden from Wolverine, from everybody.
Right.
So now he's on the trail, closer to finding them. We saw some I thought was some great character development in the last issue, especially with Idie, and some
Is
choices.
that how you say? I say Idie.
Idie, Idie. So whatever. Anyway, with Idie and some choices that she had to make.
Right.
Pretty much on the spot, and it was great. And Nick Bradshaw on art is killing it. The cover for it just gives me excited, with Wolverine coming at him with a sentinel hand right behind him, coming to the back window there. But this storyline has been great. There's a lot of this Hellfire Saga storyline to me has been fun. It's been there's been a lot of development go on as well, and it's been beautifully told with both the writing and the art as well. Killer combination.
Yeah, it's almost been a rejuvenation of the book, because I feel like the book was a bit lost or not. It was just stale, and it's been a bit of a rejuvenation for it. Who would ever have thought that someone could have written such a cool, heroic Toad moment?
Exactly.
In the book.
Exactly.
I mean, Toad
is not giving up.
throwaway character that you're cheering for the guy right now, because it excites you so much. To me, the big win with the book is two of my favorite characters are Quentin Quire and Itty, as I say, or Idy. And so for it to be the focal point of these two characters, that's a huge win right there. That the fanboy inside me's going.
Hey, I'm glad that you mentioned Quentin, because give me just a second here, because man, this I don't know. They got to do something. They got to do something with him. He's always this obnoxious, just little somebody you want to punch in the throat.
Yeah, that's what I love about him.
And he has yet to rise above that. He still isn't, but we do see him really deal with some dilemma with this particular story arc in particular. So I mean, it's been really good. It's been really good, but he's also he knows how bad he is, or how bad he wants to be,
right? But
it's tearing him up to see how Idy is changing so much,
right? He should not, or she should not be
exactly that. So that's been a fantastic for me, it's been a fantastic character development between the two of them. So, and exactly what you said, it's rejuvenated the title for me.
Yeah. So that's it for you.
That's really it for me, man. We hit a bunch of stuff here. So
let me do a quick rundown here. Just take about a minute.
We've got every episode. We're used to it by now.
Deadpool number 14 coming out. The exciting thing about this is last issue we saw the team up with Deadpool and Power Man and Iron Fist in the 70s. This is 40 years later, and Deadpool is teaming up with no longer called Power Man, but Luke Cage and Iron Fist. So it's kind of a continuation book that I'm kind of excited to see what goes on here, because those are two of my favorite characters with them, and I like that they're doing this 40-year span with them.
That's cool.
I don't know if they're going to make them old, or if they're going to make them look like they do these days in the comics. We'll find out. But I've got that. Red Sonja number 2 comes out.
Oh yeah, everybody loved that, man.
Yeah, a real big surprise there, and this is going to continue this reimagining of Red Sonja as told by Gail Simone. So it's one of the most famous heroine characters, maybe sword and sorcery kind of character here, as told by one of the biggest female names in the comic book industry. So that's one to look forward to. The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys number 3.
Where have you been this whole episode? You're usually on top of that.
There are so many good books.
There's so many.
That's coming out, and we have where the girl has kind of learned exactly what's going on here, and now she's ready to step up, and she says, give me the blaster, train me how to shoot this thing. We're going to see what goes on there. We also had, as I've mentioned before in the past, Grant Morrison played this one character in it, a villain in the book, and we're getting to see a lot more complexity with his character, which I enjoy, that it wasn't just kind of a throwaway character there. So it's interesting to see what they're doing, and just the legacy of what these Killjoys meant to the people around them with that. And finally, Uncanny X-Men number 10 comes out.
Right.
This one had a great ending. Everybody saw that Allison Blair was the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Spoiler there. Dazzler, as some other people might know. And but something major happened at the end of that issue. And so we're going to see that there's now a traitor within S.H.I.E.L.D.'s system, and what's going to come of that.
Okay.
And also we have where Cyclops has had problems with his powers, where he loses absolute complete control of his powers, and it just happens to be on the streets of LA where he loses those powers, so that's not going to be a good thing there.
No.
So the further development of Cyclops and his crew having to relearn using their powers. Just when I think this book is kind of getting boring to me, they throw something at me that I go, Bendis, why did you do this? Why did you just make this interesting again?
Curse you!
Curse you!
That's awesome.
So, but I think we're going to take after these issues, we're going to take a big break from things with the main storyline, and we're going to have the Battle of the Atom storyline going for 2 months, and then we'll get back into all the rest of this stuff.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
So that may have been 2 to 3 minutes, but whatever. You guys are getting more information for these comics, these goodies that will be on the shelf, and just skip along and pull 1 or 2 that we recommended that you don't usually get off the shelf there. Tra la 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 la. He can iddy, I can tra la 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 la.
And guys, really, this is a huge week, and this is stuff. A lot of these titles that we're not just putting so much emphasis on them because we like them so much.
Yeah.
These are titles that are selling out nationwide at the distributor level. Diamond is selling out of them. These are books that are having to go to multiple printings, east of west. Ghosted went to another printing. Saga, I think almost every issue of Saga.
The JLA books, right?
The
or
JLA
Justice League books right now are.
With the Trinity War and stuff going on.
Infinity will.
Infinity, yes, exactly. And we're going to have a good stack of those, but it's going to fly off the shelf. These are things, it's not too late to go ahead and add them to your pull list. Go ahead and do that. And take our word for it. We see this stuff. This is what we know.
Trust us, we're a professional.
But anyway, guys, a huge week of great comics. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm going to read first, man. It's crazy.
I know. Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quickly, before we do this wrap up here, let me just say, Andrew, we're giving you a little shout out here. Get better, man.
Oh.
He had some surgery, so.
Okay.
Get better, man.
Get better, man. Get better.
We'll see you when you're back up and around.
And we'll talk Doctor Who.
Doctor
Because I gotta find out what he thinks the new Doctor.
That's right. Everybody wants to know, what does Andrew think?
Exactly. Get better, dude. Anyway, guys, that is this show. Hey, don't forget Randy's review show. Check it out. Talk to him. Leave a comment. Tell him what you think about the books that they're discussing. And we've had a regular cast of reviewers. He's going to be changing that up starting with the next episode. So we're going to try to get some different people in there, different viewpoints, different opinions, but still talking about great comics that you should be checking out. Also, check out arclatexcomiccon.com. I'll have the link down in the description. If you are in the Shreveport, Texarkana area, Texas, surrounding states, this will be a great time. Labor Day weekend.
Oklahoma, Alabama.
All that. Come to the con. The Excalibur documentary will be airing there. And there's going to be other special guests, actors, famous people there as well. Contests, great for the kids. If you want to dress up in your own cosplay and win a costume contest, go do that and have some fun. And guys, we are Excalibur, comics, cards, and games here in Shreveport, Louisiana. We also have our store in Texarkana, Texas. You can visit our website, www.ExcaliburCCG.com. And that's it for this week.
Yup.
Oh, there will be an MP3. I forgot to mention all that at the beginning, but, as per usual.
Like, subscribe, share, comment, MP3, info for the Comic-Con, blah, 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 blah.
All of that. So, that's it, guys. That's it. Anything else to add, Randy?
We'll see you around the comic shop.
See you at the comic shop. Until next time, take care.